Hi there, this is an instructional come, let's just say educational part of the CyberCig brand. We're going to be talking about the batteries and care of the batteries as well. One of the things the folks at CyberCig are very hot on is safety, and of course, very importantly, knowing how to use and look after your batteries is very, very important. So in this small video, we are just going to go over the basics of looking after your batteries, how to charge them correctly, so that you can obviously vape safe, which is obviously a very important thing. Now we're going to have a quick look at the one of the most important parts of your charger kit, which is the AC adapter. This is a USB one, as you can see. They do come in various shapes and forms from other manufacturers. I've got a few here, and in fact one of the other manufacturers I use actually has a very similar one. So even though I'd probably say the best thing to do is to only use the CyberCig ones with the CyberCig products, but if you are stuck you can use other ones, but please make sure you buy a decent one. Don't buy those cheap 99p ones off eBay. Make sure it is fully fully registered, all the checks have been done it, because there are a few of these about from very cheap sources which could be dangerous. So probably the best way to avoid that is actually to use the CyberCig ones. Now we're going to have a quick look at the small battery that these guys do, which has been very nicely done. Again, the adapter for this one, as you can see, is pretty much just for this device, and you will find there will be model numbers on the little sticker here as well. So only use the one that you're sent with your e-cig. Now when charging these, very important of all, is to plug it into the mains, and obviously then getting this around the right way, which USB has a habit of going right, and put it on. Now on average, one of these small batteries will take about an hour to an hour and a half to charge, and of course it's very important, don't walk out the house and leave it. Even though probably there's a 99.9% success rate, we have heard the horror stories. So really, if you are charging your e-cig, make sure you're charging it in a safe place. Not on the carpet, not next to the bed. Probably the best place would be the kitchen, probably where there's nice sort of hard work surfaces, so if anything did happen to this battery, it wouldn't ignite and obviously then cause a fire. It would just go and obviously just on the surface. So you would really say a hard top work surface in a safe place, but under supervision, so make sure you are around. Don't go out, very important. If you do go out, you can unplug it, take it out, leave it, walk away, go and do it, come back and then plug it back in, and then carry on charging, and then you'll be good to go. And with the small batteries, they tend to charge really quickly. Another safe way would be, if you're using a computer, just plug this straight into the computer so you can keep an eye on it. That's really all you need to do. And once they're full, don't leave them overnight. Very, very important. You need to be, as soon as that light goes green, that should all come off, and then you're charged and ready to go. So very important. Also, with cleaning the batteries, probably the best thing to do is just use a Q-tip and just give it a very gentle wipe on the inside, get the muck off, and you'll be good to go. And that's really all you need to do with these batteries. And of course, because they're a very small battery, they won't last as long, because they can only take to about, I think it's about 300 recharges, give or take, how they're looked after, the quality, etc. So very important that. Now of course, if you go up on the range, the next one, I suppose, would be the good old CyberCig one here. Now this actually uses a different adapter. It's a 510 Ego threading, and again with this one away, very, very similar. If I can just grab my correct charging lead. Always a good idea, when you grab your charging lead, just check it on the label, make sure you're using the right one. And again with these, again the same principles do apply. You don't want to overcharge it. You want to make sure it's not, don't it over as well. And then once you're ready, plug in, start charging. They always have an indicator light here, as you can see now, that should have gone red. Yep, so when that goes to green, that's fully charged. And as soon as that hits green, sometimes they do pulse a little bit. I think that's because they're reading the battery, but don't worry. Once it's a steady green on this, you'll be good to go. And you can just remove that again carefully. And again, don't overcharge is really this, the situation. And again, don't leave them unattended. Now, of course, same with this one. Cleaning again is just very quickly a cotton tip. Just wipe out the inside of the threads carefully. Don't push too hard down. Just a gentle wipe, just to lift off any muck and gunge. And also with the actual charging lead itself, you want to do the same thing. You want to keep that clean. That's the wrong one. Let me grab the right one. Here we go. I've got a few leads here. These ones are a little bit more tricky, but if you just keep them, just general wipe them, clean them. If they start to crack or break, please buy a new one. Don't keep using it. These are really cheap to get hold of. CyberCig do a whole host of them. In fact, I'd probably recommend having a few spare ones, because you can usually carry them to the office with you, or keep one at home, one at the office. So get extra leads, and again, get them from CyberCig, obviously, because they're good quality and they should last, which is very important. Now the next battery we're going to look at is the X6, which I've got here. This one is a slightly different beastie, but the same principles do apply. When charging this one, you do need to use the proper X6 charger because it is slightly different. Let me just grab the right one here, and again, easiest way, just check the labels here. This one says USB X6. Now you can't use this anything else because it slightly sticks out more. And again, same thing, when you screw it on, don't over tighten. Just make sure it's just gently nipped up. Again, plugging in, allow it to charge. It will flash. There you go, it's just doing a little flash. Now it's gone to red, which means it's charging. Now because this is a bigger battery, this will take a bit longer to charge, possibly up to, because it's a 1300 mAh, you could be looking at between 4 and 5 hours. And again, don't do it unattended. If you have to go out, take this all apart, leave it, then when you come back, put it back together. And of course it's a bigger battery. Of course the bigger batteries do take longer, but again, if you get home from work, plug it straight in and charge it, and away you go. And again, nice and easy. And of course once you're done, just undo, unplug, and you're good to go. And again, same cleaning on this one. It's a little bit of a different end on here, so again, you just want to get your Q-tip in there, give it a little wipe, just make sure it's clean and tight. It's probably a good idea to do this before you put it on charge as well, to save contamination going over to the actual charger. But if the charger does get dirty, again, very careful, gentle cleaning using a cotton tip will suffice. And there we go. Now we're going to get on to the more fun bits, which we don't need this for. Just unplug this, and again, if any cracks or breaks appear on this one, bin it, get a new one straight away. Probably the safest thing to do. You know, if bits break off, which they can do, and then they get them pulled unplugged, they can get kicked as well. So if you get these splits across here, or it starts to get a new one. And again, they're quite cheap, and it's probably worth getting a few spare ones. Now, if you're playing around with this baby here, this is the E-top, which I just recently reviewed. This has a slightly different battery configuration, which does require a little bit more of a different detail. As we know, we have to unscrew here, and whoa, watch out, that spring is strong. And we have here an ARW 18650 battery, which comes with its own charger. Again, they actually give you the actual proper charger to go with this one. And again, when charging these ones, these do take a long time to charge because that is 2000 mAh of battery in there. In this sort of device, I think you can do it overnight. Again, you need to be careful. Again, put it in like the kitchen or somewhere where if anything did happen, it would be limited. Also, a smoke detector would probably be a good idea as well. Most people tend to have those anyway. Now, when charging up the ARW batteries, before you plug this in, you have to put the battery in first. So, obviously, going for the orientation here, the negatives here, that's the positive. You have to slide the arms here, so just slide, push in, plug in. You also have two features, fast charge and slow charge. If you are going to do an overnight charge, again be careful, but do it on the 3 volts. For a quick charge, use the 3.6. This is probably going to be better, where you can keep an eye on it. Once the battery is in, then you can plug it in and start charging. And then we will get the light here. And of course that will have to wait until this goes green. Once the light has gone green, you need to unplug it from the mains first. Very important. And then carefully remove your battery and don't let that arm fly up and smack because will damage. And then you're done. So there you go, guys. Just, and again with this one, just make sure the top's clean with this. Of course, you can actually wipe it with a bit of paper towel. Make sure your contacts within the truss fire are clean as well. And again, the same rules apply. If there's any breaks or cracks, or if the lead starts to fray, get a new one. The leads on this one are pretty much the standard, what I used to call cassette recorder leads, as you can see. But again, make sure you're using a good quality lead. Make sure you're using the proper fuse as well. As you can see, this is fitted with a 13 amp fuse. So if you do change the fuse, use a 13 amp one. And again, just be careful. Keep these clean and tidy. Keep them out the way is probably the best thing to do. And that should then give you lots of happy charging and happy vaping. So then, guys, that's a quick information. For more details, please go and check out www.cybercig.co.uk. And happy vaping and safe vaping. Bye for now.